If you haven't yet seen John Carpenter's 1982 alien epic The Thing, starring Kurt Russell, then I would definitely turn this video off and immediately go watch it if I were you. Set in Antarctica in the winter of 1982, this sci-fi horror classic follows a group of American scientists stationed at an outpost in Antarctica who encounter a shape-shifting alien that can assimilate and perfectly mimic any living being. Led by R.J. MacReady, played by Kurt Russell, the researchers must figure out who among them has been taken over by the alien, leading to paranoia, distrust, and some pretty terrifying encounters. The film is well known for its groundbreaking practical effects and is a remake of the 1951 black and white film The Thing from Another World, which was an adaptation of the novella Who Goes There by John W. Campbell. If you're still watching this video, then I'm assuming you have seen the film and you know what happens. But here are 5 things you probably didn't know about the 1982 sci-fi horror film, The Thing. Today, one of the more critically acclaimed parts of The Thing is the beautiful score composed by the legendary Ennio Morricone. But what you might not know is, the music was originally nominated for a Razzie Award of Worst Musical Score at the 1983 Golden Raspberry Awards. If you don't know what that is, the Golden Raspberry Awards, commonly known as the Razzies, are an annual event that recognizes the worst in film. Established in 1981 by publicist John J.B. Wilson, the Razzies are intended as a humorous counterpart to more prestigious awards like the Oscars. The event highlights poor performances, bad writing, and overall subpar filmmaking. Categories typically include Worst Picture, Worst Actor, Worst Actress, and Worst Director, among others. The awards often generate controversy or amusement, as some films and actors embrace the dubious honor with humor, while others dismiss the recognition. Although the soundtrack was not initially well received by some critics, over time the score has been reappraised and is now considered an integral part of the movie's unsettling tone. It's often praised for its subtlety and the way it enhances the horror and tension of the film. Not only this, but later on, Morricone would end up getting the last laugh as, ironically, he would later win an Academy Award for his work on The Hateful Eight, a Quentin Tarantino film that reused parts of the unused score he originally composed for The Thing. So, to the Razzies? Suck it. If you have seen The Thing, then you know firsthand just how amazing the practical effects are in this movie. The genius behind the special effects of the movie, Rob Bottin, was actually hospitalized for exhaustion following his work on the film. Bottin was only 22 years old at the time and worked tirelessly for over a year, often clocking in 7-day weeks with long hours. The workload was extremely taxing because Bottin was not just managing the special effects, but was also deeply involved in the actual construction and operation of the various creature effects. The film featured incredibly complex and innovative practical effects, which required meticulous attention to detail, mechanical work, and makeup. Many of these effects were unprecedented in cinema at the time, adding to the pressure. Bottin's dedication took a toll on his health. He suffered from exhaustion, developed a bleeding ulcer, and had pneumonia by the end of the shoot.
And I ended up, working so hard that I ended up in the hospital at the end of the show. John looked at me and he said, "You don't look well." He goes, "Somebody take this guy to the hospital," right? But since then, I've wised up and, it's, I don't do that anymore.
He had pushed himself to the limit to bring the film's terrifying creatures to life. Bottin's work on The Thing paid off greatly, and it went on to be celebrated as some of the best practical effects in horror movie history. If you have seen the film, you know that this cute husky dog in the beginning of the movie is not who it really appears to be, and later goes on to become quite a disgusting twist in the film. The alien dog was a real actor. The dog's name was Jed, and he was a trained dog that was selected for his unique qualities and remarkable on-screen presence. Jed was a half-wolf, half-Malamute hybrid, which gave him a distinctive look and demeanor that set him apart from ordinary dogs. The filmmakers needed a dog that could exhibit specific behaviors and have a mysterious, unsettling presence to convincingly portray the alien in disguise. Jed was trained by Clint Rowe, an experienced animal trainer who worked on various film and television projects. Jed's natural behavior and expressions were key to his performance. His scenes involved him acting in ways that seemed unusual or unnatural for a typical dog, such as walking slowly, deliberately staring intently at other dogs, or silently wandering the halls of the outpost. These behaviors contributed to the eerie atmosphere of the film and hinted at the presence of the alien. John Carpenter was extremely impressed by Jed's abilities and found that the dog's appearance and behavior added a layer of mystery and tension that was essential for building the film's suspense. Jed's performance in The Thing is considered one of the most memorable aspects of the film, adding to the unsettling tone that made the movie a cult classic. If you know a little bit about the director of The Thing, John Carpenter, you probably know he also directed the landmark horror film Halloween, which was released back in 1978. But what you might not know is there's actually a little Easter egg for The Thing in the film. In the scene where Lindsay and Tommy are watching TV, you can see the intro to the 1951 black and white film The Thing from Another World on TV. The same intro which John would later use in his 1982 version. After going back and forth with many other directors, including Tobe Hooper and even John Landis, John Carpenter eventually agreed to do the project, although was reluctant at first, believing Hawke's 1951 adaptation would be hard to surpass.
I was offered The Thing, to remake The Thing at Universal in 1981, and I thought long and hard about it because I didn't want to compete with the old film, which was greatly loved by myself and many fans.
But after reading the novella Who Goes There, the themes of paranoia and isolation really interested him, and he believed he could make an adaptation that was true to his day. And being a huge fan of the 1951 version, he thought he would give it a try.
And then I subsequently read the short story in high school, and I realized it was a lot different than the movie. The John W. Campbell story, Who Goes There, was basically an Agatha Christie kind of 10 Little Indians. You know, this creature is in your midst, and he's imitating either one or all of us, who's human and who isn't. And that kind of an idea really fascinated me.
The inclusion of The Thing from Another World and Halloween serves as a subtle nod to Carpenter's future work and showcases his appreciation for classic horror films. Again, if you have seen the film, then you know about the ending climax scene where they have to try and destroy the entire research facility in order to try and stop the alien. The filmmakers used all real pyrotechnics to create the explosion. The production team constructed a detailed, life-size replica of Outpost 31 on location in British Columbia. They knew it would be destroyed, so this set was designed to withstand the harsh conditions while also allowing for controlled demolition at the end of filming. After shooting most of the interior and exterior shots, the crew rigged the entire outpost with pyrotechnics. This was a carefully planned operation because the explosions had to look chaotic and destructive, yet still be safe for the crew to film close by. The setup was meticulously timed with each section rigged to go off in a sequence that would achieve maximum visual impact. The cameras were set up at multiple angles to capture the explosion from various perspectives in one take. Because this was a full-size set, they only had one chance to film it. The crew managed to capture the outpost blowing up in spectacular fashion, creating a grand and visceral effect that was an exceptional cap-off to a phenomenal film, one that still holds its own even today. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe for more content like this one, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.